あれはビードロといって息を吹きかけると不思議な音が鳴る代物だ。
やっぱりちょっとずれてるんだよな。
They brought me back, folks. Okay, so this episode of Sasaki and Peeps, really enjoyable. And I really, really liked this episode. And I was trying to think, okay, how do I kind of put it into words on why this one was better? Because here's the thing is I understand that you, and when I say you, I don't mean necessarily you, but it could be like the, you know, the you as the people who are watching this show. I understand how you may have liked last week's episode, and I hope you can understand, at least based on the words that I said last week, that you can understand why I didn't like it. I feel like where this show shines is when it kind of sticks to one path. And when it begins to deviate from said paths, like we go from Japan to the fantasy world, back to Japan, to fantasy girls, to magical girls, to back to, you know, being kind of like a merchant peddler, to being back in the organization as a cop, to back to be, or, you know, magical cop, to back to being over here. And there's some other shenanigans going on with Mueller and this other world and Mark-san and all that. Like it's doing too much. But where the show shines is last week, you know, we had all this stuff with trying to figure out Mark and trying to figure out the other world, and didn't like last week's episode because they really didn't continue the episode before. We kind of just like, okay, now we're back in this other world, and here's this other shit that's going on over here. This week, though, it continued the storyline, I guess you could say, of last week. And Elsa, you know, she put herself away, and she put herself in a box. She got beamed to Japan. And this episode was all about Sasaki dealing with that and trying to figure out like what the hell do I do here? And I thought it was really, really cool because, you know, I felt like it furthered the plot in a way, or it furthered the story, but it didn't deviate. So with this episode, we didn't get more than just kind of one thing. It's like, okay, Elsa was the problem. Elsa stowed away. We're fixing Elsa, and that's what this episode was about. And I really feel like where the show shines is when it kind of doesn't deviate much and it kind of sticks to this one path. I think it's been traditionally trying to do too much in too little time. So this week, though, I felt really enjoyable. I really liked seeing Sasaki take Elsa around. I liked him, you know, freaking out and figuring out, you know, what the heck they're gonna do. Grandma psychic girl, you know, I like how Peeps put a curse on her because she was, who knows what she was exactly trying to accomplish, but he put a curse on her and now she's kind of going to be more obedient in the future. And he's like, okay, what the hell do I do with this Elsa girl? And he's like, okay, let me take you around because there was some, you know, the reason she stowed away originally was because she thought that Sasaki was the reason that Mark got imprisoned and stuff. And, you know, that's not the case. So he was like, okay, how do I deal with her? And then how do I get her trust? You know, because he doesn't want to break the trust of Mueller and stuff like that. So he takes her around Japan and she gets obviously awed. You know, she goes from the who knows what fantasy century to the, you know, modern world, modern century. And obviously it's going to hit her like a ton of bricks. And it does. And she's impressed and everything else. And, you know, initially she wants to stay here for a while. And he's like, you know, social security numbers, you can't do it, you know, and that's a whole fun topic, but he navigated it really smoothly there. And by the end of it, you know, they're going to send her back, and Sasaki did some stuff to look like a magical man instead of a magical girl to keep up appearances. So really good episode. Like, I enjoyed it. I was engaged. I don't really think there was any funny moments, but I was engaged in the episode. And I liked the storyline of this episode. I was like, okay, this is what, you know, I want to see more of this. I don't really need to see him as the magical cop, you know, psychic cop guy. I don't really enjoy that too much. The magical girl fairy world part of it, I could care less about that. I just am interested in what the show set forth on episode 1, which is showing us that this other world exists and Peeps is the gateway to it, and the duality of him navigating both worlds. I think if they were to have stuck to that a little closer, the show would be much better than what it is. It tried to, you know, shove in or shovel in more than it's just 1-2 punch thing it had going on. Him peddling merchandise and coming back, and like, I think that was interesting enough, but because it shoveled in other stuff, it kind of like poo-pooed the anime a bit. But this episode, though, I thought was really good. I enjoyed it. I like seeing Elsa get closer to him with his little lolly collection. I wonder when his neighbor girl's going to come into the mix, because, that's going to happen eventually. But hey, at the end of the day, I think we have 4 episodes left, 5 episodes. What is this, 12 episodes, 13 episode season? So it's a 12 episode season. So we have 8, we have 9, 10, 11, 12. We have 4 episodes left. So who knows if she really will. Maybe it just showed it to her, showed us her because she's supposed to, but she didn't. Who knows? But I anticipate that's going to be coming, as well too. And then obviously he's going to be going back, to this world, and taking Elsa back there. So what's going to be the fallout there? Because he did show her a brand new world, and the fact that he's simply not from their world. So that's a whole thing too. So anyways, I really like this episode of Sasaki and Peeps. I thought it was pretty good. I thought it was really enjoyable. Definitely brought me back in, because I was feeling a little down on this show. Like, I was like, it could be a lot better, because it's just doing too much. But it brought me back this week, and I kind of hope that they stay on this trajectory. Because again, if they start messing around with, the next episode is going to be a little bit in the other world, he's going to be back here, he's going to do a little bit of psychic cop stuff, a magical girl's going to come back into, it's like, we start losing sight of what makes the show good. So again, just my opinion. Let me know yours in the comments down below. Let me know how you felt about the show overall. Let me know how you feel about this week's episode and about the show overall in the comments. And I'll see you guys next week for episode 9. Peace.